Hi guys, welcome back. Peace be with you. Blessings. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. All my eggs, birds, beings, wherever you are in life. And those who don't know what I'm talking about, who hasn't seen my past video on drama therapy, one of the groups that I belong to, you can ask in the description and I will explain, or you can look back doing the weight management that I did back then. Anyway, so this was actually a short one around Men Walk and Talk. A group that I belong to. It's a space for men to just be vulnerable and learn more about themselves, and to have social relationships with other men, and to be able to open up. So this one went to Streatham Common in one of the nice, lovely green areas. I think it's called Rock Garden. Now, this one was quite interesting. So, what came up was legacy, death, and something else came up, which was foster care. How do you watch the video?
So when they leave here, they will have more opportunities, like into universities. Maybe they've got a lot of them got mental problems. Because you see, and a lot of these kids are black. So it's a revolving. No, but it's true. It's a revolving circle. It is. You know, it is. Right now to create that. I think what I'm doing is I went to uni. So what I'm trying to do is all my people I know and care, I'm trying to give them as much support as possible. So we make our own family. Because a lot of people in care don't have any family. Well, the mum is on drugs, the dad abused them, so they have no one to go to. So when you create your own family now, you know what I mean? We're all there for each other. You know what I mean? You know.
connect with people that you don't know, and how you have similarities in terms of upbringing and similarities in ideas on some of the things that are going on in everyday life. It's amazing, and plus we're here up in Streatham in the Rockery Gardens. Again, I've known this place for years. It's a lovely atmosphere, you know, beautiful flowers. It's a calming location to have a men's walk and talk. For those of you that haven't done it, I would recommend that you do it, and do it soon.
Well, that was quite interesting. And he has a good point. I mean, you know, what's the solution to tackle the issues with the younger generation? Extra policing? I don't think that's the solution. Tighter sentences, stronger policies. The thing is, these things are like putting bandage on an open wound, you know. It's not going to help. It just might make things worse. It's wait until the horses has bolted the stables when you could have just locked the door, make sure it was secure before it happened. So it's about looking at the root causes, and he has a good point that the children in foster care are not being looked after properly. And I'm not saying all foster care, but there is a history with foster care that the children are not getting that kind of parenting, and it spills out into schools, it spills out into wider society where there are a lot of issues. Now, the thing is, in the UK, there are over or around 70,000 children in the foster care. And research is saying that 1/3% is going to have mental health issues. And there's another research that says actually that's not correct. It's actually 56% from their sample size, and 23% from that 70,000 children will have criminal records. I think it's more. You know, where do you go from there? How you know, what's the solution? And I think, you know, he has a very good idea, and that is trying to mentor those kids from young. Have some kind of organization that mentors them, that somehow fills in a parent role, and I think it's a very good idea. Now, the issue with kids in general and punishment, discipline, it is unlawful to smack your child in this country under Section 58 of the Deterrence Act 2004. Now, the Act explains except for reasonable punishment. Now, that is quite vague. What is reasonable punishment? You know, if I smack one child and I leave no mark, but I smack another child with the same amount of force and leave a mark, you know, what is reasonable punishment? You know, it is quite vague. And the thing is, there's a lot of discussion and argument that the ability to discipline your child and even raise your child is taken out of your hands, and is actually now being governed. you know, that to the point that the children are now misbehaving in schools, they are misbehaving in the wider society, and the parents are being blamed for it. But they are arguing that actually society has tied their hands behind their back, not allowing them to raise their children properly. Now, I am not saying that how, you know, smacking is law is right. You know, I don't believe in beating your child, and also child abuse. You know, it should be tackled. I mean, I remember, you know, being a child when it was, you know, growing up in West Indian, you know, household, you know, when it was legal to have a good smack. I remember, you know, lying on my stomach after a good hiding, you know, because my gosh, I was a troublesome youth, you know, and a child. And I remember, you know, getting a good licking that I couldn't lie on my backside. I had to sleep on my stomach. But that was normal. But also, you know, there are a lot of repercussions with children who've been through that. And not just mental health, but also it goes into physical health. You know, they're both psychological and psychological health is connected. Just, you know, so I'm not condoling beating your children, but it's a discussion, and it's something, you know, it's a valuable discussion. We also talk about funerals. How much would you spend on your funeral? And why spend so much money on a funeral when you can leave those for your loved ones? You know, some guys were saying that how their family members spent an average of £4,000 to £6,000 on funerals. Now, an average funeral in the UK costs around £4,000 to £5,000, and it's cheaper if you're cremated. But being African, Caribbean, 9-night traditions, you know, you want the best coffins, you want the nice suits. You know, one person spent £16,000 on their funeral and left almost nothing for the children. You know, and for what? You know, to have a nice coffin, food for everybody, when that money could have left for the benefit of their family. And we also spoke about living funerals. You know, some people are saying, you know, if I know I'm going to die, why should I pay all that money for a funeral and miss out when someone's drinking the Guinness or drinking, eating the jollof rice and or the ackee and saltfish and the curry goat, and I can't enjoy it. You know, it's my funeral, I paid for it. You know, so they have living funerals, and the majority of the guys were saying that how if they know that in the next few days or next few months or whatever that they are going to pass due to some illness, then they will definitely have a living funeral where they can enjoy the funeral, you know. But with the cost of living, people are looking at cheaper options, cremation, having a service at home, you know. But yeah. So that was Men Who Walk and Talk on Sunday. And had me thinking a lot of my funeral, thinking a lot of, you know, knowing that my funeral itself is not expensive, being an Islamic burial where we don't use coffins. You know, we wrap ourselves in linen cloth. But also, do we need to spend all that money on food to feed people when that money could actually go to your loved ones? Why have a big party, you know, when that money can be used for something more beneficial for your family. Anyway, that's it for today. That's it for this session. And yeah, so next Men Walk and Talk, I'll come back and share what happened and what came up. And that's why I like. That's why I love this men, these Men Walk and Talk. There are some difficult conversations and questions that sometimes you don't talk about, but it's in your head, and it's nice to have a kind of space just to hear other people ideas, opinions, and able to get it out yourself and don't feel being judged. But sometimes you can hear a different side of the story, something that you might not even be thinking about, and also just share, And oh yes, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do. There's no pressure to do so anyway. This is for your own benefit. It's not about views or likes, but if someone can actually benefit or learn something from this, then I am more than happy, and I'm sure the Men Walk and Talk group is also, will be very thrilled that at least one person has learned something, or it have helped them. Sorry, it has helped them on their journey. And I know for a fact that we have actually saved 1 or 2 lives. Well, in fact, someone who has watched one of the videos went and did a health check, and actually, yeah. So that is worth more than views and worth more than likes. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.